Alright, we're back out here at the trailer. Gonna work on part 2, finishing this thing up. I'm gonna work on figuring out how to get this off. It's I ain't got to work on this for a couple days because I was busy, and I worked on this so hard for so long, dealing with this and various other things, that I actually got pretty daggone. I got somewhat sick over the weekend because, you know, it's one of those things, either you take a rest or your body makes you take a rest type deals. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of cold, kind of really cold, so I'm gonna do what I can. Yeah, I'll come back when this is all removed because y'all have probably seen this done 100 times, and I'm not going to give you any interesting way to do it. So I'll come back when I'm figuring out how to put boards on it. Ready? Alright, let's go. Alright, I got the board stripped off the trailer. The wires tied up. And now I'm going to go through and start... what was I going to start doing? I'm going to start taking all the screws out of here and cleaning up this trash. Yeah, real interesting to watch, so I'm just gonna let y'all know when I get it done. How's that? Sound good? Okay. Alright, we got the metal cleaned up. Now, there's a very special way I prep the metal when we're working in a situation like this. You help get all the dust off and make sure everything's clean so the paint adheres real well. First thing you do is you take a can of primer and you shake it up real good after you've got done wire wheeling it, and then you apply it. There you go. Perfect, won't ever come off, I'm sure of it. And now this is a very special primer I'm using. The reason why I'm using it is because it's what I had. So, there we go. I'll rattle bomb this. I'll be back when I'm done. Alrighty. And I went through and spray painted primed the top of where all the boards are going to go, and I really just did that because I'm going to put the boards on before it ends up getting painted, most likely. And I want there to be a little bit of water protection between the boards and what's getting painted. When it comes to actually painting it, I can just flip the trailer over if I want to. This top rails are plenty strong for that. Anyways, what am I going to do next? Guess I should figure out how I'm going to mount the boards. So I guess I'll let this dry out a little bit. I'm going to go get some wood. We'll see how it goes. Got the wood laid out and how we're going to do it. Next thing is I'm going to need to cut these so they all line up with that rail, if you can see it. Sit right in the, so they'll end right at the middle. And to do that, I've got them in place. And I've got that saw set just shallow enough it won't quite cut through the board so I don't hit the metal. And I should be able to try to run them down. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try it on this one. And if it works, that's great. If not, back up and punt, because I'm not running that on metal because it ain't mine. You know, because I got decency, right? Sort of. Anyways, I'll try this out, and I'll show you how it comes apart. Good? Alright, let's go. Alright, so I cut it, and if I pull on it, well, there you go. Might have to make 2 cuts on these, I guess. We'll see. But that should work. The end boards might have to just come back out and get cut, but if I can get them all lined up and cut exactly the same, that'd be great. So let's get chopping. Right? Alright, well, I don't know what the camera got, but it did work. More or less. Not perfect, but it is functional, so we'll roll with it. Now I gotta figure out how to do those, because these are the easy ones. I'll try to get this laid out and see where I go from there. Alright, let's go. I wonder where I put the skill saw. Ha. Alright, since it didn't take the first time, I'm going to try again to show how I ripped those boards, or cut the boards, or whatever the heck I was doing. I don't know. The thingamajig. Anyways, I'll try that, and hopefully this will film without the camera falling over. Alright? Okay. I'm gonna get a chisel and knock all this crap out of here. I'll be right back. Alright, I got them all cut out. It does fit. Is it a perfect fit? No. Have I done this before? No. Do I think it'll work? Hopefully. Anyways, I'll start putting all these back in. But, of course, we've got company over right now. Men's meeting that's fixed to be happening right behind me. And I probably shouldn't be running any heavy power tools and stuff. That's generally rude when people are talking and, you know, a lot of shit, you know. Well, finally getting a chance to do these nails. It's probably all I'm going to do tonight just to get something done. But, you know, work went late again and then life happened. So, we're going to knock all these nails off. I'm just going to take an angle grinder, cut them off. Don't feel like I need to have to show that, and I probably can't film it very well anyways. So that'll be okay. Once we get that done, next thing we'll do is we'll work on screwing the boards, actually getting them screwed down. Then we'll start welding everything up. Let's see. Hopefully I can get those fenders designed. I got some square tubing I may use, making my life easier, but we'll see. But design up some fenders. Hopefully I can paint it, but this may just be this may not. Either way, I'm finally going to put my logo on something, and this is going to be it. I wanted to do the YouTube logo. I like designing logos for fun. Why? Because I think it's entertaining. That's why. Go mind your own business. I just couldn't think of a good spot to put it on the forklift. So, this one's definitely getting something. Probably going to be on the fender. But by the end of this week, we're going to have this redecked, refendered, and even if it ain't painted, it will be ready to rock and roll. So we're going to roll with it. Oh yeah, that winch. That's important. I'm sure that cable's fine. Right? Right. Oh, it should be good. Okay, I need to get to work on this.
I lied.
Well, if I'd have known it was going to be that easy, I'd just done it yesterday. Anyways, that looks considerably less stabby, so I'm going to assume that's good. I mean, we did reduce traction, but at least now they won't go all the way through my foot, just partly. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow, I hope, to actually work on putting this down to the trailer. We're going down. Go downtown, man. Alright, tonight we're going to start screwing the decking down. And by start, I mean start and finish, probably. We're going to run a set of screws down here, just going to do one in each. If I need more, oh well, this is what I got to work with. Then we're going to see what comes next. Alright? Alright. We'll see how this goes. Well, I tried to space all the boards out, so instead of having a big gap, it'd just be a bunch of little ones, and it looks terrible. Anyways, I need to know how far apart you're actually supposed to space these, because I just kind of used what I had in the screw department, so I put screw there, screws there, none there. Tried to run them down there just to see what would happen, and I ran out. Anyways, none of that matters now. What we got to do is figure out how to put these things down without killing myself. Maybe that'll be a good idea. You think? Probably not. Okay, we'll see. I don't know. Alright, so I don't know how well y'all can see this, but you see I drilled and then ran a wood screw through this board. I'm going to do that on each of these. I'm going to have to take the angle grinder and just trim this, because these are literally just two random pieces I had sitting around, so they don't quite line up, just enough to not fit. So I'll trim that down, make it fit right. And I'll go through and do all these real quick. Once I get done with that, we'll see what I have light to do, because it's kind of using those right now. Anyways, hopefully I can at least measure out what the fenders are going to be, so I can draw that up. That'd be nice. Good. Okay, let's keep working. Well, at least it looks neat. I'm going to probably have to put more screws per board, but I kind of wanted to see what would happen. I mean, on top of the fact these are sitting on a cross member, every one of these. So hopefully this should hold well. If not, I'll find out, that's for sure. But I said, this whole thing's kind of I want to see what happens. Not like I got any money tied up in any of the decking except for screws. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put y'all up. I'm going to work on measuring out how I'm going to do the fenders, and probably start drawing those up. Oh, chances are I'll come back tomorrow. We'll see what we're doing. Well, my goal was to get back to the house before dark so I could at least cut the two main strips of metal out to build the fenders. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyways, got them drawn up last night and how I wanted to do them. Cut them out in a big strip with tabs. I'll fold it over, weld it together. Hopefully it'll add some rigidity, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to put the camera down and try to measure out the main strips so I can take those and put them in a spot where I can actually do the scoring and welding and make it all nice-ish. Good? Alright, let's go. Well, guess it's harder than it looks to freehand that. Just off a little bit. It'll be okay, because now I've got a guide. I'll just use this edge and pray it's straight. Good? And besides, we can just use that as the inside piece. Nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever know. I hope. They don't care. Just you, me, however many other people end up watching this video. So not that many. Alright, I got the two strips cut out. Now I'm going to go through and start measuring everything. I shouldn't have to make more than cut one piece off at the end to cut it to length. Maybe. Might leave extra long tabs on the end so I can Just give myself some wiggle room. If they fit, awesome. If they don't, I cut them off. I'm going to go through, I'm going to mark out where I need to bend it. So there should be 1, 2, 4 main bends. And I'm going to run tabs down each side that should, about that long, 2-ish inches. And I will bend those in, weld them together, and that'll give us our sides that'll help rigidify it. Ready? Alright, I'm going to get to measuring. Maybe my measuring's better than my cutting. Lord, I hope. Anyways, I'll be back in just a second. Well, this is what assuming gets you. I assumed these was 8 foot long, which would give me plenty enough for my design and then some. That's not 8 foot. That's not even close. But, fortunately, using my absolute genius with a lot of measuring and a little bit of panicking, I came up with a new design that will work. And literally have just enough to do it. So ain't that perfect. I tell you, I knew what I was doing. I sure did. Oh boy. Alright, I got all these marked out. Obviously I got these X. This was a mismark from when I was cutting these originally. I'm going to cut these corners out. Everything else should just be scored. Now, I'm going to have to cut angles out of this. On each of these. There, and there. So that when I bend it, they'll line up and I can weld them together. The only issue is I don't actually know what that angle is. So, this may be a case of the get everything trimmed and lined up. I'll go ahead and cut these to that point and that point on all of them. And then when I go to bend it, then I can work on cutting angles out. Right here, I'm going to have to cut this line on the other side, or score it, because this has to bend up like that. So it'll sit flat on top of the angle iron and I can bolt it down. Because I would like these to be removable. I sure hope I'm doing this right. Anyways, we'll work on getting this cut out, and I'll start figuring out how to bend. Ready? Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, I got this thing scored, and it's just flipped over right now, and I'm going to try to see how well one of these long sections bend, because I'm going to try to bend them straight, or at their their final angle, because that long piece is going to get floppy, and that's probably going to be a pain to deal with. Of course, this is my available option as far as tools go, so I'm going to have to put the camera down. Alright, I figured it out. Now we're going to try this side on camera. And there we go, and that is not good. Now I gotta line the rest of this crap up. Actually, let's see how those bend up. That might be important. Oh, nice and easy. I like it. I got some actual leverage. Oh, and it's not near as much metal to deal with. Hey, that ain't bad. Hey, you actually can see it on camera. Anyways, I'm going to bend that tab down there, and I will take us to the trailer and we can see how we make this fit. Gotta hope it works. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but after some cutting and adjusting, I'm off by just a smidge. I dig 'em. I done that tight. But you can see that, whoa. I don't know how y'all can see, but this is kind of warped. So I'm going to take a hammer and just knock it back into position-ish. And hopefully, I'll do the same for this one over here. Good, it's a little out of whack too. And hopefully that's going to be enough to make everything line up how it's supposed to. I hope. We'll see. Ready? Okay, let's go. First we'll try some gentle persuasion. If you break the weld, you know you've done it right. Nah, still off just a smidge. Okay, I might hit the one on this end a little hard, but when I do the next one, remind me to cut a vertical line. Honestly, I should probably just cut the angle out, and I'm warping the mess out of it. Okay, I got some adjusting to do, and I'll be right back. Alright, I got it mounted up and clamped up. Some of this don't line up, but the fenders themselves should be straight. Should be. I dang sure hope so. But even if they aren't, well, this is how they got to go on there. So, I cut the gap out in the back, everything lined up, clamped up. I'm going to start to bend these out backward, or back to where they're going to go. And as I do that, I'm going to try to get as close as I can, and then I'm going to cut both of these pieces, and hopefully they should line up flushish. If not, oh well. I tried. Anyways, I'll start working on that. Okay? Alright. I got it better when the daggum wrench goes all the way to the end point. Funny. Alright, now to tack this up and pull it back off. Perfect. Ha! I did it! I'm a genius! Alright, next night, got the next one cut and scored. Let's I'm gonna try to bend it and see if I can't make it line up with the other fender. Let's see how that goes. Alright, I got this thing test fit. We'll finish clamping it down and tack it together. I'm going to have to cut those grooves out a little more to get it sit flush. And it hangs over, probably, what, an 8/4 inch off the ends more than this one does. But that one also, that rail got dropped when I cut on it. So it's probably where that came from. Anyways, it'll work. It'll be okay. It's one of those I don't think anybody's actually going to notice unless they're looking for it. And I'll try to get everything trimmed up. So I'm going to tack this to bend these into place, tack it together, and we'll pull these off and we'll weld both fenders up completely. And I need to remember to cut those corners out more. Remind me of that, will you? Good. Okay. I'm going to pull the welder around. I'm going to get the grinder, cut this off. I'll be back when everything's ready to weld up. You saw what I did there. Same thing here. Just done probably more efficiently because I know what I'm doing this time. I don't know if I'd say know what I'm doing. Kind of have a vague idea. I don't know. Alright, we got the fenders tacked together. I'm going to start welding everything back up. Because making those scores takes a pile of metal out of it. So I'm going to go just run a bead all the way down. Everywhere. Whenever I run out of the Harbor Freight wire, I got 6 pounds of the Amazon special. Cost me like $30. So we'll see how this goes. Y'all ready? Okay, let's get to welding. I'll try to set y'all up where I can do a time lapse or something, but no promises on how well you'll be able to see. Okay? Okay. Alright, I got both fenders. I guess you can see that one back there done. That welding wire, that Amazon wire, I kicked the Harbor Freight wire's butt. I mean, all the way up and down the block. It was great. I've got both of these welded entirely. I got a little trimming I'll probably have to do this one. Hopefully now that I've welded them, they'll still fit. But we might have some adjusting, a little drilling. This video ain't going to make it out when I wanted to, so if y'all see a gap, that's why. Get some paint and primer these and do them up tomorrow. And I will make some stencils to spray paint the logo on these, and we're going to do it nice. And that is the weld with the other style of wire. Dude, I don't even want to show y'all what happened at the Harbor Freight. Maybe my position was probably out of whack. I mean, there's probably some things I was doing wrong. It took me a minute to get positioned to actually do this stuff right. Like way longer than it should have, but yeah, anyways, I'm rambling. It is late 30. I should probably go to bed. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow when I have daylight and I'm painting all this up. Sound good? Alright, good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Alright, now that I got the fenders made, I'm going to cut
these pieces angle off, because this is the worst example, but ain't none of them really straight anymore. They're only welded right there. And I'm going to make some steps that'll go like steps, guards, whatever you want to call them. They'll go like this. That way if I hit something, it won't bend the fender so bad, and it should just push everything over sideways. And it'll give me a better point to mount the fenders. So I'm going to cut this off and figure out how I want to design it. Cut this off. And I will be back when I actually have some decent ideas on what I'm doing. You know, like you're supposed to before you start filming. Alright, I've got... Stop moving. There. Anyways. I've got these pieces ready, drawn up to be cut out. This is going to be for passenger side, I guess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a section right down here and there. And that'll give me 2 triangles. And I'll cut that notch out, groove this and fold it in. This will face the tires. So that'll give me part of my rigidity. Then when I've cut these out and got them ready, made sure everything fits, I'm going to cut a strip that'll run down this edge on each of them and weld it in. That'll give me the rigidity on this side. It'll also give me, you know, if I push up against something or stub my toe, or, you know, it won't be so bad. Maybe. Anyways, let's get this thing cut out and we'll see how it looks trying to actually be fit up against it. Sound good? Okay. Alright, I got the main pieces cut out and bent. I've also got the strips. These are all set up nice and easy. I'm gonna set them up. I'm gonna use this piece of metal kind of as a makeshift welding table. And we'll start welding these together. I'm gonna tack them up. And then we'll show y'all what these look like. Sound good? And once I show y'all, I'm just gonna get to welding. Hopefully I can get that done tonight. That'd be nice. Anyways, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, got everything tacked up. Now I just gotta weld it all together. And be honest, I mean, it's not great. I've seen more stuff on YouTube, and this will work well. It'll match the rest of the trailer. Yeah. Alright, got these all 4 of these pieces welded up, ready to go. All we gotta do is attach them to the trailer now, and drill holes and figure out how to mount the what do you call them? Oh yeah, fenders. Because I'm gonna bolt the fenders down to these. I don't want to weld them. Get that figured up. Then yeah, but I'll worry about that later. Right now it's late and I should go to bed. Okay? Okay, let's go. Alright, I'm out here. I've got the piece and we're going to try to mount it up like so. It's going to sit in about 2 inches. So that it should be flush with the edge of the fender. There's a little bit of a weld right underneath there. I'm going to have to grind off, but it's only on this side, not on that one. Anyways, I'm going to try to tack this thing up because I will need all my hands and toes and whatnot. I'll get it tacked up and we'll see how it fits. Does that sound good? Okay. You don't have a choice, so this is what we're doing. Alright, well I got these tacked on. I gotta say, they're looking pretty good. Hope I got my measurements right, but we'll see if I can do this. Need it. Come on. Could be using that camera stand there. Could. I won't. Alright. And this is why we test fit. Where's the big hammer? Actually, I'll use the little hammer this time. We need to do some gentle. Oh, there's the big hammer. not helping. You know what? Hold on just a second. Alright, this side's spot on. Just gotta trim that edge off. That'll be good. May not have been paying attention where I set this one. Yeah. Let me just do a little realignment. Crap, to put them on there stronger than I thought. Yeah. Alright, get it lined up better, tacked up. I'm gonna leave a fender on here to weld these just to help prevent warping. And yeah, we'll get these welded on. Have this side ready. Just gonna have to drill holes for bolts. Sound good? Sounds good. Alright, got them welded up. I'm not gonna show you that one because this is the good one. I don't know how y'all can see, but I welded underneath too. And I don't know what it is. You can get, I got that one good, the one on the other side good. But the last one I did, I mean, I've heard of bubblegum welding, but boy. Anyways, this whole thing is so strong I could probably pick the trailer up and flip it over with it. Unfortunately, I ain't that strong. So let's see how the you know, the thing, the fenders, yeah, let's see how that fits, right? Yeah. Alright, not bad. Cut that little tab off and we'll be in business, but I'm gonna wait till after the bolt holes are drilled and everything's held down to do that. This side looks good. On this side, the weld I ran, well, nah, the weld I ran on this edge of the mount sticks up just enough. I can't get this base to seat flush. That's easy fix. Grinder, no problem. Just hit it with a little flap wheel. It just sticks up a smidge. Easy peasy Japanesey. And then I will do the other side, but I really want to wait till I have good daylight to try to cut those mounts off, because it's kind of tight over there and it is not going to be very easy to do cutting upside down with no light. No, you know. Anyways, I think this is looking good. This is going to be nice. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. Alright, I got this side welded up, or tacked up. Got this one tacked up. Let's see how that fender fits. I'm gonna put y'all on a stand and we'll see how this thing fits up. I'm a little concerned. I don't know if it's gonna, if I cut those corners good enough or not, but we'll see. Hey, great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut those corners out just a smidge more. But as far as actually fitting and lining up, I hit the nail on the head. Perfect. Sweet, y'all. All right, I'm gonna weld these up, and I might even do a little time lapse of me welding these together. I'm feeling pretty good. I actually got a day off. You know, it's Thanksgiving. Let's make this nice. We're gonna make a nice video. Let's make a nice video. Sparky goodness. Sorry for the wind. Hopefully the microphone will help me, but shoot, we'll see. Got a seat. We're moving up in the world, folks. I got something to sit on. There we go, some semi-professional welding. And other things I kid myself about. Now, y'all probably won't be able to see it, but I'm gonna go ahead and weld up the underneath. In fact, I know you can't see it, so I'm just gonna do that and we'll move to the next one. Sound good? Okay. Wasn't real happy with that spot right there, so I just went and added more metal to it. I didn't feel like I put enough weld, that's all. But that, yeah. Get the undersides, and we'll be in business. Then we just gotta get the two fenders to actually fit right. Anyways, let's do that. Sound good? That's good. Alright, so both these fenders were warped just a little bit. Well, that one was warped more than a little bit. In a way that using bolts was not going to work well. So all I'm going to do is, I've already trimmed the edges. I'm just going to weld this piece right here to the fender, or this to the mount. And that way, if these ever do have to come off, I can cut this weld and we're good, or I can cut there and we're still good. Either way, it'll come off with an angle grinder. This sits a little further forward off the mount, but it'll be fine because nobody's gonna notice unless they're looking for it. And I really don't want to have to cut all this back off. See, this one's actually sitting, they're both sitting exactly the same off, so I guess we're gonna roll with it. I don't care enough, and it's gonna, like I said, nobody's gonna notice. But I'm going to weld those fenders on, and once I do that, I guess winch is next. Redo the winch. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll probably do. Before I redo the winch, I'll paint everything, and then I'll put that cable on so I can paint this too. Heck, if I got time, I may. You know what? I don't know. We'll see. But right now, welding fenders. Good? Good. Let's roll with it. Yeah. Well, that's one fender. Now for the next. there we go, folks. 2 nice, strong, welded on fenders. I mean, let me tell y'all something. I don't care what they say about them little titanium welders. Y'all can't see perfect here, but I mean, look at these. That's a good weld. I mean, these things, you can see where I had to layer it up a little bit to actually make that gap. I mean, this stuff right here, heck, that's better than half the welds that came on it from the factory. So let me tell you something, the machine don't make the welder. Now the little black ones, heck, they're good too, but they aren't as pretty. I would give them that. They're tough though. I mean, this is, I'm not going to touch that one. That's, I'm happy with this. This is good. Now I got to repaint the trailer. I'd like to make some guards for the lights, but we'll see if I have time for that. Partly just to keep me from stepping on them. You know, maybe just a piece that goes up over it, but we'll see. This video got delayed a week, and I'd like to go ahead and get it out. That's not as important as these were. But I gotta go get ready because we're fixing to have Thanksgiving, and I want to look half decent and eat. But when I'm done, we will work on getting this thing ready to paint and fix the winch. I should probably find a place to get some ramps too. I don't really have the metal I want to use to fabricate them, so I may just buy some. We'll see. I don't know. I should do something about that. But that's also a we'll see. Anyways, right now I'm gonna go make myself look decent because you know, I don't think that's real appropriate for Thanksgiving dinner. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. I'll be back in today or tomorrow. Alright, so I've been trying some things because I got that super ultra high gloss, holy crap. Yeah, ultimate high gloss Rust-Oleum paint, and let me tell you, that stuff runs. Like, this was all black. That was an even coat. Then it wasn't. So we're just not going to worry about that, and if you do spray enough on there, that's what you get. So we're just went back to Walmart and I bought some Krylon. Because they were out of normal Rust-Oleum, that's why I bought this to begin with, and that turned out a lot better. I mean, it all kind of looks like crap because I didn't prep it well, but you know. Something is better than nothing. Anyways, I'm going to go through, spray paint the rest of this. I'm going to see, my idea is that since black is black, and the tires are black, that I can paint the rims and clean most of it off with acetone or something. And if I don't, well, who's going to notice? Me? I don't care about me. Or y'all. However many people watch this, so just shh, quiet. Don't tell anybody. Anyways, I'm going to, the way I'm doing this, I did jack this side up, painted here because it was all rusty. Put the wheels on, and I'll go to the other side and do that. I'm not going to worry about adjusting this because even if I point this down straight down, it'll still bust my knuckles. So really the best thing to do would be to cut this jack off, put a side mount one on there. But this one works and I don't want to spend that money, and I really just I'm done. All right, this thing is functional. We're going to rattle bomb it and we'll keep going. I lost the footage of trying to paint these white. So it didn't matter because they're getting repainted anyways, but we're going to put that logo back in white right here and then on the other side over there. And then should go get a license plate and for this thing. That'd be important to do at some point. But let me tell you something. If y'all do this when it's hot, gnats are like magnets to this. I mean, they would just attract to white paint. I don't know what it is. I had to go clean them off after I painted it. Anyways, I'll finish doing this because this is not very interesting, and I will be back between now and eventually. Oh, and I did go through and make sure all of the bearings were adjusted. So I'm not riding around with sloppy bearings. Good. Okay, let's finish painting this thing. I'll get back when it's time to wind the winch. Well, I was about to be done painting it, and I missed a spot. Yeah, gonna need to fix that. So I'll do that. There. Now all we gotta do is that's a spotter 3. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Ish. I don't know. I'm gonna walk around and find spots I missed, but we're fixing to go up there and wind the winch, and we'll be through with the trailer. Probably should put the lights back on. I got a couple other things. Anyways, we'll just give me a minute. I've never done this before, so we're just gonna assume I'm doing it rightish. Tell I don't have normal cable. I got the weird rubber coated stuff. Wanted to see how that would turn out. Probably gonna fail, but that's okay. We're just gonna see what happens. At least while it's functional means I won't have to use gloves to handle it. That'd be nice. Or it could break, come back, cut my head off. You never know. Either way. That's not going very far. To make it easier, I'll just use the old hook and clamps. I mean, they're still good, so why waste them? But you better stay now. Right, get on. Well, now it's apart. And come on. This is the one of the very last things I gotta do to this trailer. Just go together. Go together, I say. Wait. Closed one. Hook. Flip around. Through clamp. Add impact. And never saddle a dead horse. I think that's how that goes. Pretty sure, maybe not. Am I running this? I don't know. Hakuna Matata. Such a wonderful thing. I'm gonna get sued by Disney. Yeah. There. a knot. Okay, we'll call it that. That's good enough. Got that down. Don't want to scratch the paint. And what's next? Oh yeah, the fun part. Wait, no, lights. I gotta do lights. Lights are important, right? Right. I don't know. Now the tail lights. Yeah. Probably should have thought leave a little bare metal for the ground connection. Oh well. This will work just fine. Come here. Just gotta this one and just a little on that one. Take the wrench. Try not to destroy the Harbor Freight light. There we go. That one's done. Next one. All right, second verse, same as the first. This. Stick that there. This here. Washer. Washer. Come on, get it. Nut. Get on that. Get. There you go. No. There. Light's done. And because caution stripes make everything cooler, now a little wrinkle won't matter too much. Right. Put one there. Stripes here. Of course, we needed some right there and here. I trimmed up a little bit on both of them so they'd match because I couldn't. This stuff's pretty stiff, so it wouldn't sit right down there. Oh well. It matches on the other side mostly, kinda. And now for the cherry on this sundae. I made a stencil. And it has a border. Hey, that actually looks pretty daggone good. Better than last time. Now to do it on the other side. See if I can actually get it close. Oop, messed it up. Oh well. Actually looks kind of cool. Anyways, I'm gonna clean this up before I do the walk around. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's finished. This trailer's ready to go back on the road. Need to put a license plate on it. That'd probably be a good idea. Sure, there are some things that could use a little work, like the fact you bust your knuckles trying to run that. But it ain't bad. Paint job's kind of shoddy. Stencils are cool. But it'll work. It'll get the job done. Everything's tensioned, greased. Lights are ready to go. New ones. All I gotta do is use it. I'd like to get some ramps for it. Probably have some later videos, you know, putting ramp mounts on the side so it can hang to the side of it, clamped down. That way I ain't got to throw it on the back of the trailer. But I mean, this is not bad. This is good. You know, I mean, that's... See, I had to buy paint and a cable for that. Welding wire cost me about $30 for 6 pounds. Plus what I had on hand. I mean, I didn't spend hardly anything on the metal. It's just... Heck, these fenders right here, you can do these literally in your backyard with the cheapest... You could do this with a Chicago electric welder. You don't have to use the green one. Chicago electric one will do it just fine. And an angle grinder, and you could have fabricated everything on here. I mean, heck, I did. I mean, this is something anybody can do. With, I mean, the timber, this was, like I said, this was free. It came out of that peanut wagon. We'll see how this configuration holds up. I'm really curious about it. I really should have just cut this piece off and mounted, done this, not however the heck it was. That was weird. But I mean, this is good. So y'all will absolutely be seeing this in some future videos. Licensed and tagged properly. Let me clarify that. Anyways, guess what's next? Yes, sir. I'm going to be pulling the engine on this thing tomorrow because it needs some work. So y'all stick around for, I don't know, next week or 2 or 3, and you'll get to see how I drug that thing out of a scrapyard and hopefully get it running. We don't know yet, but, well, it'll at least be interesting. I managed to run all my clothes in about 3 seconds. So, hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really do hope y'all learned something, even if you didn't enjoy it. And I will see y'all in the next one when I'm trying to revive a clapped out skid steer. So, that sound like a good idea? Sounds like a good idea. Dang, this looks good. Like the caution stripes. Anyways, I'll see you later.